I have to admit, Auto Battler wasn't a term I was familiar with until I sat down to play the demo for Godslayer Arena. Foolishly, I thought Auto Battler was synonymous with AFK, so I went into Ry.Morrow Games' third title expecting an experience similar to Path of Exile meets AFK Arena. How that looked as a PC game was what got me interested to begin with. Unfortunately, after playing through the demo, I can say that I'm no longer interested. Godslayer Arena requires the bare minimum of engagement, and unfortunately, it actually put me to sleep. I can't help but feel this game would be better at home on a mobile phone. It's very important to mention that Ry.Morrow Games is a solo developer, and with that in mind, this demo space video is more of an insight into why Godslayer Arena didn't click with me, as opposed to a critique of the gameplay. But I do want to highlight some positives before I get into my main issues with Godslayer Arena. I think the music is a lot of fun, with the main menu providing some fairly decent metal riffs. The art style is aiming for a cel-shaded cartoonish aesthetic, and it works really, really well. Personally, I'm not one for cel-shaded design. I just think it takes away from character animation. It always leaves me with the feeling I'm playing a bad PS2 game, no matter what console generation we're in. But again, the art direction for Godslayer Arena really worked. Unfortunately, the rest of the game did not. There's really nothing to do here. But before we get started, we need to talk about the two difficulties you can choose from, Hero and Domain. Hero provides us with some extra buffs, and Domain starts us with absolutely nothing. We then jump in to find our character moving, dodging, and attacking completely automatically. There aren't any commands to issue, the only engagement comes in the form of equipping spells and later on gems to augment said spells. The design philosophy is to create spells that synergize with one another, allowing us to progress through as many gates as possible, gates being different maps or levels. You can progress through as many 20 in the demo and 25 upon full release. Each time you pass through a certain number of levels, you gain access to another spell. You can also swap spells out of your reserve pool before entering a new gate. Upon completing a level or gate, we can choose to accept bonus XP or extra refreshes for the spell's store. By default, we get 2, which is incredibly generous, so you have ample opportunity to obtain a spell that suits your build. Oddly enough though, you can't enter a new gate without refreshing the store at least twice. The spells have some great visual feedback, and at times I actually found the moment-to-moment gameplay compelling to watch, until the amount of enemies needed to complete a gate increased, starting with 20 from the first few levels, going up to over 180 by the time I died at gate 13. Suddenly, it began to put me to sleep, and I'm so sorry to have to say that, but at one point I genuinely did nod off. In fact, it was more than one moment. It was really that unengaging. And this brings me back to my mobile phone comment. I really feel like Godslayer Arena would be better suited in our pockets. As a game I can pick up when I get a spare moment, set my spells and go AFK for a few hours. Failing that, adding in a competitive or co-op element might add another layer to gameplay, but unfortunately at its present moment, this just isn't the game for me. Now, there's no price point listed for Godslayer Arena on Steam, but Paolo, the solo developer behind Ry.Morrow Games, his previous title, Spirit of the Elements, a tower defense single-player experience, is currently listed for $17 and has a very positive score of 93% from 308 reviews. It's safe to say that Paolo is quite talented, so I encourage everyone to check out Godslayer Arena for themselves. After all, it may not be something you would ever expect you'd enjoy. Plus, it also supports smaller studios and help them clear a path through the mindless gunk that seems to infest the gaming industry. I'll also leave a link in the description below to the website for Ry.Morrow Games. But that's it for this demo space video. Hopefully I've given you a little bit of an insight into a new game you didn't know about, or something you might actually be interested in checking out. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a bloody beautiful day.